Okay, this is Sydney from Hajime Model Studios and two-time GBWC Philippine champion. Today I'll be customizing this guy, the Special Forces Industries Sentinel. This was sent to me by Gundam Central. You can check them out at their website or their Facebook page, Gundam Central. And this was sent to me to do a review, which I actually did in a previous video. So we're gonna link that video below if you want to see how it's assembled, what the metal inner frame looks like, how the plastic quality is, how it cuts, so on and so forth. But today I'll be customizing this in a more realistic military-ish type color scheme. So I'm still deciding whether it's going to be khaki browns or forest grays. So first thing first, we're gonna take it apart and disassemble it. I'm gonna go ahead and cut this horn off. I hate this thing. Looks like something from Pat Labor. I'm gonna cut it off and round this part here so it looks more like a GM sniper. File this off and make it nice and clean. Okay, we've done sorting all our parts. We've taken apart and sorted out by color. I usually do this. This is my go-to process on how to do it. All of this was one color, then decided this will be about khaki brown. This is the inner frame here. We're not gonna color that. That's already a nice, this is already real metal. This one will be a darker shade of brown, something more akin to wood brown. Will be the shield, the foot, all that. These things here, all of this stuff here, this is pretty much, well, we'll call it inner frame as well. So you see inside of the shield, inside of the skirt. All of this we will do in gunmetal. These parts here for the rocket launchers, the backpacks, I will do in 2 shades of gray. So I will do darker gray and slightly medium dark gray. So let's say for this part here, this is the backpack, it goes like this. Just slightly put it back together so we can take a look at it. Then there's an outer part here that for the rear thruster that goes there. So if I do this in dark gray, I will do this in a different shade of gray so we can have some color separation and contrast, but they're both gray. This I've not decided what to do yet. This one is red. This is for with the Gundam head. Well, my philosophy in making these things is always, it has to look like a Gundam, so there has to be some red in it. So that will be red. And then the lip part where the tongue sticks out, that will also be red. This part here will be a dark silver or dark aluminum color for the thrusters and stuff. Though this is actually the rotating power source for the cannon. And this is the muzzle of the rifle, the very, very long rifle with that silver. This part here I will do also in gray. This is for the big Macross type cannon. Then I will shade everything here. So not decide exactly what kind of gray yet. Maybe somewhere in between the grays that I'm going to do here. But first things first, everything has to be primered in black before we start painting. So that's what we're gonna do now. I can share with you guys a shortcut tip that I do for the not so very crucial parts that need to be painted, like particularly the inner frame stuff. So you can do this even of your regular Gundam master grades with the inner frames. You do this, then you can paint it in one swift go. So this is basically a board with just double tape on it, and then you do is just take these things and stick it like so. We're done with our base coat for the armor parts, and then these will be the ones in khaki brown. So I custom mixed myself up a batch here. This is already from Zerk. It comes in a monochrome khaki set, which I find a little bit too yellow for my taste, so I wanted something more of a dusty desert-ish color. So what I usually do is after the base coat is I tend to do what's called, I think the official term is called black basing or back basing. So what happens is this entire thing is now black, so I will take this color and airbrush in the color. So it's kind of like paint by number, so gradually filling it in. I will leave out the edges here in a black highlight, and then all the edges here we will leave it in black. Then after we fill pretty much everything in, we'll go over it once or twice depending on how highlighted I want this edges. So we're gonna show you how to do that now. See, it immediately lightened up a bit. There's more of a subtle shadow now. Go over it like so. There we have it. My personal preference for this thing is to use something like this. So this is a harder Steelback Infinity, where it actually has a stopper here at the bottom. So I can click that, and then this trigger to pull all the way back. You use the knob here to twist it and to adjust. So if you pull it back, so it's a full blast like this one. If I stop it like that, so it only pulls back like there, halfway only. That helps me to control the amount of paint that comes out. So you can use a single action also, like my other go-to airbrush, which is this one, and this is a HS Ultra. So I cut my teeth on this one, so I can control it by again pulling it completely or pulling it somewhere midway. But this little extra feature lets me not think about that too much. So if you can afford one, you definitely get one of these things. Okay, we're done with our minor hand detailing and hand painting, so time to weather it just a little bit. I'm not gonna do major rust and stuff on this one, but rather we'll be using this to weather it pretty much, give it some stain, some dirt, and well, grime, oil streaks, whatever we want to call it. So this stuff's amazing. Comes in two variants actually. So it comes in brown, comes in black also. So I'll be using this one actually for the brown. I love this stuff. If I do any Star Wars models, I use up a lot of this, especially if you're doing ATSTs, the Falcon especially, and speeder bikes. So this is an enamel based wash. So basically this is just like this one, your plain Jane Tamiya Panaline accent, but this is a heavier concentration. So this will also serve as the Panaline for all this stuff. So all these little things here, it will go into all these crevices. So that will, yes, serve as our panel lining. So we don't have to use this anymore to panel line it individually. I'll show you how to use it. Just take any, well, shake it well, brush, and you just simply, well, there you go, brush it on. This sucker will dry actually in about, about 5 to 10 minutes. So we just leave it as is. And the way that you clean it up is by using lighter fluid. Some other videos show you that you use a cotton swab or something similar. What I prefer to do is, since I like to do things shortcutly, I take a big swab of cotton here, get some of this, pour it in, and just wipe it, and just wipe it. There you go. So as you can see, we have streaks here. Those things remain as is. Yeah, I know it's not fully dry yet, but just to show you what the effect is like. Recesses such as those things over there. Also wipe and wander over. Yeah, it's a pretty quick way of doing it. As you can see here, we have streaks here. There's dirt and grime built up into those things. So that's one there. It's a little bit more up there. We have some dirt built up into those little recesses over there like that. So have that staining effect there and there. So this is one easy way to weather it and dirty it up a bit without it looking like you rolled it into a mud pit. Just splotching it all over is not weathering. So we're going to do this for the rest of the mobile suit, and especially armor parts like this one. This will look really great with streaks on it. Okay. If you find that you've erased a bit too much, don't worry, just go back and put some more of this weathering stuff and you're good to go. you.